Hello there, Matt Lindsay here. What do tarot cards and this man here, Joel Goldsmith, have in common? Well, the tarot led me to Joel, and I'd like you to hear my story, so I hope you stick around.
Really invisible with map, where the best things live off the map. You might miss it with your eyes, but you'll feel it in your life. Clearly invisible with map, see the soul behind the stats. If you stay a little while, you'll start seeing through the smile.
Okay, first I want to say that I know I will probably get some hate from this, especially from Christians, but that's okay. I would like people to understand where I come from. Recently, I posted two videos, one called The Kingdom of God is Within You, and another one was called How I Pray for My Enemies. So I want to share briefly, because this video could be 2 hours long, but I'm going to try to keep it as short as I can. I want to talk about how I ended up where I am now on what I would call my spiritual path. I grew up in Western Kentucky, and that's predominantly Christian. Growing up, I attended Pentecostal churches, Baptist churches, and when I lived in the town of Morton's Gap, Kentucky, there was a Christian church there just called Morton's Gap Christian Church, and that's probably one of the best churches I've ever attended. So my mom took me a little bit, but I recently realized she wasn't always there. So when I was in church, it was either Sunday school teachers or other adults coming to get me to go to church. I always wanted to go to church when I was a kid. Even when I was a child, I was searching for God. And yeah. And then uh, when I was in high school, my stepdad got a satellite dish. We didn't have it very long because it was repossessed. We didn't pay the bill. That's poverty for you. So anyway, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have shared that. It is what it is, okay? So I discovered when I was in the 10th or 11th grade a man by the name of Arnold Murray. And he had a channel and still exists today. His son is still running the ministry. It's called the Shepherd's Chapel. And so from probably the 10th grade until 2004, so in the 10th grade, that was 1990. So from 1990 to 2004, I was all about the Shepherd's Chapel. The Shepherd's Chapel was, I'd never seen a man sit behind a desk like that and actually read from the Bible and interpret it. And I absolutely loved it. And because of Arnold Murray, I wanted to become a minister. So when I entered my college, Berea College in central Kentucky, south of Lexington, it's a private school. One of the best things that ever happened to me was going to Berea. That's another story. But yeah, when I entered Berea College, I wanted to become a minister. But I loved French so much, I was convinced by the teachers that I would be a really good French teacher. So that's what happened to me, and I don't ever regret it. So anyway, from 1990 to 2004, I was all about the Shepherd's Chapel. I read the Bible through many, many times with many, many different translations. And then something happened in 2004. And I don't really want to get into that. That could be a video of its own. But I came to the realization that for the longest time, I had been following a man. And my world came crumbling down in 2004. That was one of the hardest times in mine and my wife's life. We had moved from Vegas back to Kentucky in 2004. We had new jobs that we hated. We taught in the Paducah area, did not enjoy it. We now had responsibilities with the family where we didn't when we lived in Las Vegas for 6 years. So we had a lot of changes in our life. And then that's when I started to um, think about my beliefs, my religious beliefs. So from about 2004 to 2008, I didn't claim anything. Actually, I would tell people I didn't believe in God. Yes, something happened in 2004 that I really don't want to share. It's more about another man who followed Arnold Murray. He and I kind of became close, and he had a falling away. And then because of that, I started reflecting. And yeah, so you can't follow man, okay? You can't. The guru is inside of you, but naturally people follow men. They follow their pastors. They follow everything that they say. And that's very, very dangerous. Okay. That's why we have cults. That's why we have, yeah, well, I'll stop it right there. So in 2004, yeah, I was an atheist. Pretty much was. I would read anything and everything from Jean Paul Sartre, l'existentialisme, existentialism, humanism, and all that stuff, and was okay with it. And I'm glad I had those 4 years of that way of thinking because now I understand a lot of people who are either atheist or agnostic. So, what happened in 2008? This is funny, but it's not. I had a really good friend at school, and she would talk about her sister who was supposedly a psychic. And this was 2007. It was Christmas 2007. Our friend invited us to a Christmas party, which was kind of like a dirty Santa Christmas party where you would bring a gift, and then yeah, so dirty Santa. It was a lot of fun. So when Linda and I pulled up to the house, the first thing I said to Linda was, "Do you think her psychic sister will be there?" But she was. So I just had to talk to her because I was fascinated by her. And she told me some things about myself that she should not have known. So I found her to be real and genuine. So we started talking about things, and she said, "You know, your third eye is wide open." Of course, I didn't know what a third eye was. And I said, "What do you mean?" She says, "You're very intuitive." And I knew what that meant. I said, "Yeah, I feel like, ever since I was a child, I've had this inner voice. I hear it a lot. It's just my voice, okay? It's just my voice. And I'll be walking down the street and I hear my voice say, 'Don't go that way.' Or I'll wake up one morning and I'll hear my voice tell me something. And it's just that inner dialogue I've had ever since I was a kid, and it has really saved me from many, many things." So anyway, I said, "Yes, I think I'm a little intuitive." And she said, "Do you know what will really help you with this intuition?" And I said, "No." And she said, "The tarot." Okay. And of course, growing up Christian, uh, I was always told things like this were of the devil. But what I discovered is that this is my first tarot deck that I bought either after I met her, the psychic. Um, it was either that Christmas break or the beginning of January. I don't quite remember, but I bought this either in late 2007 or right at the beginning of 2008. So this is my very first tarot deck, and I have probably 50 decks now. I've collected them over the years. I find them fascinating. Um, I don't believe that they predict anything. I believe they help you think. They have a lot of archetypes in it and a lot of Christian imagery, um, especially if you follow the Rider Waite Smith deck. Okay. But yes, anyway. So when she told me about this, oh, I want to say this. A lot of times when Christians or any other religious people say some things of the devil, it's just because they don't understand it. And they claim, there's a demon around every corner. I simply don't believe that. And that's okay. If you say, "Oh, you're going to get in trouble for that," it's okay. It's okay. So, anyway, um, I buy my tarot deck. And over the years, I've actually purchased some tarot decks that were only first print. They only printed them once. Like there was this one deck that I bought. I think it was called the Fairy Tale Tarot or something, and they only did one printing of it, and I never really liked it. It was kind of okay. I think I paid $19 for it at a Books a Million in Paducah, and after I opened it up, I was like, eh. And I just kind of put it away and never really thought about it. And then about 5 or 6 years later, I discovered on eBay that it was one of the most famous decks because again, it was just a first printing. So I sold that. I paid $19 for it, and I sold it for over 500 on eBay. And I've done that with a few decks over the years. So it's been kind of like a little hobby of mine. I haven't bought a tarot deck in quite a while. I don't use them a lot, and if I do, it's more for fun and just thinking about things. So anyway, so how did this lead me to him, the infinite way, Joel Goldsmith? Well, when this started, Linda and I, we just jumped into metaphysics in 2008. It all started with a tarot deck or a psychic, and we started studying all sorts of things. Linda and I became what people call Reiki masters. It's a type of energy healing. And again, some Christians will say, "Oh, that's demonic." It's all good. It's okay. And we started doing all sorts of things. I started reading Paramahansa Yogananda. He brought yoga to the West. And Linda and I actually went to a yoga retreat and we were initiated into Kriya Yoga. So we did all sorts of things. So we were on this path for many, many, many years. And then I was reading a book. I had purchased a book on the tarot. And I don't even remember what the book was, but it had a chapter on meditation. And so I started studying meditation after that. The chapter wasn't very long, but it intrigued me in such a way that I thought, ooh, I think maybe this is where I'm going with this meditation. So I started practicing all sorts of meditation, guided meditation, Eastern meditation, and right before Eli was born. So it's easy to remember when I started studying Joel Goldsmith in the Infinite Way, because Eli was born right after that. I was online and I found an audio, and Eli will be 13 years old. So I would say I'm a practicing student of the Infinite Way for about 13 years. So yeah, so Eli will be 13 in March of this year. So I was watching a video on YouTube about meditation, and either in the video or in the comments, someone mentioned Joel Goldsmith. I'd never heard about this guy before. So, of course, I had to do some research, and my life changed right then and there. So, I am a student of the Infinite Way. I would call her a teacher. She's a teacher of mine. She's been in the Infinite Way for since the early 80s and even worked in the office and was well known for some of the miraculous healings. She gave me this picture last year for Christmas. She sent me some things that I cherish, and there was a picture of Joel in it. And I thought, oh, I love this. I love this. Um, but Joel Goldsmith wrote a book called The Infinite Way. And then from there, he was asked to come and speak about his book. He wrote it in the 1940s. So in the late 40s, early 50s, Joel started going around and talking to people all over the world about the infinite way. And it's a path. It's a path. It's not a religion. Joel speaks that it is not a religion. You don't have to sign up for anything. There's no organization. Yeah, it's about God realization. That's what the infinite way is. It's about experiencing God here on earth. It's about experiencing heaven on earth here. And I'm not waiting for a Christ to come in the clouds and rapture me away. I'm waiting for the Christ consciousness. So that is what I believe. And the Bible is full of those things. The Bible is allegory. The Bible is full of stories that are about your life. Actually, I'm sure in your life you've experienced the trials of Moses. You've experienced the trials of Abraham. So yeah, I'm going to get a lot of hate from this, but that's okay. Um, and John 3:16 says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life." Who is that Son? And of course, many Christians, or most Christians, would say Jesus. Well, yes, Jesus was the Son of God, but I am too, and you are too. So I know again, a lot of people will go, "Oh, right." Oh, and I forgot to say that I'm supposedly Catholic. When I was living in France, I started going to the Catholic Church, and then I became Catholic. Many, many, many years down the road. I love going to the Catholic Church. I like going to Mass. I like the fellowship of it all. But I'm a pretty bad Catholic because I don't believe a lot of the things or the dogma. Because I find that most religion is completely man-made. But that's okay. So, but yeah, that is where I'm coming from. My videos are not to convince anyone of anything. My videos are not to say, get on my side. I'm not one of these religious fanatics. I'm not a religious person at all. This is my path, and I have to take it myself, just like you have to take it yourself. And I don't rely on some savior, to get me into some supposed heaven. Yeah, no, I am responsible for this life, and I've chosen to live this human experience to grow and understand my true nature, which, in my opinion, is God. So, yeah, I don't know how long this video was, but that is a really short video of my spiritual path. Yeah, and I hope to share more. And if I do get a lot of hate from this, that's okay. Watch my video on how I pray for my enemies. It's all good. I know who they truly are, so they can come at me all they want. It's all good. I love them no matter what. Love your neighbor. So, love Taro, love Joel. I love every experience I've had to get me where I am now because I believe consciousness is continually unfolding. So, yesterday's truth is not necessarily today's because today is all we've got. Okay? Much love to you. Thanks for listening.
They ask me how I see the world, I smile and say, I listen close.